Hello and welcome back to G-senjou no Maou, the epilogue, Spring Haru. And you know, Maou is on the door. Kyohai, whatever. I couldn't even begin to describe Yusami's face at that moment. It was like a blanket of snow that had once melted suddenly decided to freeze over again. Damn it, Haru. Telling me to go out and buy vanilla extract. Damn. Yet here I am regardless, on my way back from being her errand boy. My phone suddenly rings. Since I lost my old one, I had to buy a replacement. I answer it, on the off chance it might be a client. Evening, son. Oh, Oriba. I take it they've decided on a date for father's funeral then? Oh, yeah, no problems there. But the thing is... Well, I realize you're probably not the guy to ask about this, but I'm fresh out of ideas. I'm listening. I wanted to ask you about this kid named Mikisha, a kid who works for the family. You know him from Adam? No, the name doesn't ring any bells. What about him? I see. Yeah, I figured as much. Fuck! Now where did that little shit disappear to? Disappear? Oh, that's the one that died instead of Maou? Yeah, he's been missing ever since that incident on Central Boulevard. I have a bad feeling about this. When was the last time you saw him? Well, remember when we were moving the bus to bust through the blockade? He was the one driving the thing. Bus? My mind went back to the scene. I watched with my own eyes as a man crawled from the bus, enveloped in a pillar of flame. Oh my god, he realizes it. Huh? What? We'll talk about this later. I cancelled the call. Without so much as closing my phone, I dialed Haru's number. The first attempt, Haru did not pick up. The second attempt, Haru did not pick up. She was supposed to be at home making chocolate, and yet I wasn't getting any answer at all. I dropped my shopping bags and ran. Shit! The man in that terrible conflagration wasn't Maou. He must have given the driver his gun, then used him as a substitute. What did I think about it? I remember seeing Maou go near the emergency exit window. He staged a shootout with the police, busted out the window, and then shot the fuel tank. After that, he made use of the ensuing chaos to escape. Even Haru and I were able to elude the police at the time. I would have been a simple job for him. I have to hurry. Maou is still alive! No shit! We know! Unadulterated dread descended upon Yusami Haru when she saw the devil in her doorway. She immediately dashed backwards into the living room to escape him. This is my first visit, believe it or not. It's a lovely place you've got here, really. Maou spoke with his usual confidence. Haru's eyes were still wide open in shock as she retreated further backwards into the kitchen. What's wrong, Yusami? Cat got your tongue? You are still alive? Of course. I would have loved to drop everything and go see my dear old dad as soon as possible. But there were a couple loose ends that I needed to tie up first.
チョコレートでももらいに来たか
Let me guess, you came for the chocolate. Maou grinned.
私のために頑張ったわけではなかろう。
Oh no, I know better. Those weren't intended for me.
じゃあなんだ
Then, why are you here?
もちろん、お前に地獄を味わわせるためだ。
To give you a glimpse of hell, of course. Maou advanced on Haru. The emptiness of his expression seemed suited to the grave. What are you doing? Haru proceeded further into the kitchen. She felt around for the kitchen knife. She grabbed air once, twice. Where is it? Hurry! Maou was getting closer. Haru eventually grabbed the pan instead. She removed the lid and chucked it at her foe. The boiling, bubbling chocolate splattered out but failed to reach Mao's face.
どうした？
What was that? Mao's smile was long gone. His emotion had apparently been entirely rooted out, and his expression bore not one iota of hesitation. He was the angel of death himself. Haru waited for the moment that Maou stepped over a chocolate-drenched tire. When he did, she rushed him like a berserker. Maou noticed her attack and took a stance against it. She continued her tackle regardless. The Reaper had fumbled ever so slightly. She followed through with an uppercut to the jaw. He dodged as if he had predicted her next move. The result saw Haru losing her balance and tumbling to the living room floor.
終わりか？
Is that it? Maou looked down on Haru as she lay on the ground. His eyes followed her as religiously as if she just sat down in the electric chair. Something was different about Maou. He wasn't up to his usual games. He had something deeper, something more sinister in store for her today. Sweat trickled from her forehead. Sweat, not sweet. She squeezed her fists tight in an attempt to quench their fearful trembling. My sworn enemy is here. Her mother's murderer, whom she had failed to kill with her own hands, had reappeared before her very eyes once more. This was a heaven-sent opportunity. Haru rose to her feet and glared into Mao's lifeless eyes. Hatred erupted within her. Even if she has to go down with him, strength filled Haru's every limb, preparing her for what must be done. A gunshot suddenly rang out. Maou withered. He had been hit in the shoulder. Blood spurted from the wound, staining his suit red. Haru looked over to where the shot had been fired from. Kyosuke stood in the doorway, holding a gun at the ready. You could have accidentally shot her! He fired a second shot, but it did not make its target. Maou groaned and savagely charged Kyosuke. Maou! I pulled the trigger without hesitation. Invitation from the darkness! Unfortunately, despite being only a few yards away, I missed. Maou reached inside his suit. He pulled out something black. A gun, of course. But then for some reason he just threw it away.
Doki!
Out of my way! He delivered a blow to my stomach. His strike caused me to lurch forward. Before I was brought to my knees, I raised my gun once more. Before I could fire a shot, he wrenched my wrist. My gun fell to the floor. Maou delivered one final kick before running out the door.
京介君
How did he... Why did he throw his gun away? Haru, are you okay?
私は大丈夫です
I'm fine. Yeah, same here. I managed to straighten out my knees as they are on the verge of collapse.
追いましょう
We have to go after him! Hey! Haru dashes right past me and heads outside. Wait! It's too dangerous. Wait until we call the police! Even the Sonoyama group! I look for the gun I dropped on the floor. It's gone. Did Haru take it? I snatch up the gun that Maou tossed aside and chase after Haru. Yeah, running around with guns in the open. Always a perfect idea. There's something weird about all this. Why did Maou run away? He pulled out a gun but didn't even bother using it. Did he not come to kill Haru? I think he just wants to make you unbelievable by pinning you to a crime. What is he up to? And where on earth did he run off to? I can hear Yusami's footsteps behind me. The wound in my shoulder is throbbing. Yusami gave pursuit as predicted. My legs are starting to get unsteady. I wanted to take her to a place with more people around, but I guess things don't always go perfectly. Alright, Kyosuke, this will be your final trial. I'll make sure you get a taste of hell as well. I will never reform. You'll receive no loving quarter from me, little brother. No, that's not true. It's precisely our fraternal bond that prevents me from letting you off the hook as things stand. I see a little park to my left. There are no swings or slides. It boasts nothing but a tiny sandbox. I'd say it's a worthy playground to serve as the backdrop for Maou's grand finale. The question, what was it that served to drive Yusami Haru? The answer, a thirst for revenge, accompanied by a degree of obsession. Just hearing the word Maou was enough to revive in her mind the spectacle of that day. The sounds of gunfire and screams, the sights of sawing limbs and dangling organs, and the nightmare will only get worse. She must now kill or be killed. Thus she pursues him. She carries with her the gun Kyosuke had dropped, despite her utter lack of firearms training. Mou's voice surfaces in her mind. Even during her last moment, your mother thought of you. At least spare my daughter, she kept begging and pleading with me. Maou provoked Haru, played with her. You are no different, Yusami Haru. You finally managed to find me, after all. You are just a revenant. What you need isn't love or friendship, but an adversary or evil. Something you can use as a pretext for your obsession. During this long battle, Maou had placed a curse on the hero. Isn't that why you abandoned the violin? Demons have always had a knack for taking advantage of the weakness within people's hearts. Haru had already lost all self-control. She knew what she had to do. You mean, she knew what she thought she had to do. This is not actually what she had to do. No one would be able to get through to her now. She would chase him down and kill him without a second of hesitation. The only question was, how? Haru had already completely forgotten the gun she so tightly gripped. Wow, that's bad. I ran after Haru and Maou. My pursuit took me through a quiet residential district. Suddenly I saw Haru turn a corner to the left. That path leads to a small park, if I recall correctly. Only I was filled with dread. I caught a glimpse of Haru's face as she left the road. There was no sign of the aloof girl I knew so well. She had a terrifying look on her face as she chased down her prey, one that I had never seen before. It reminded me of some old myth or legend. After vanquishing demons for so long, the hero himself became corrupt with evil. That reminds me actually of the first ever RPG Maker game I think I played. The same one who invented Vampire's Dawn, if it says something for you. Or if it tells you something. There actually was at the very beginning of the game where someone fought the evil big demon and then became the demon himself after slaying him. After vanquishing demons, the hero himself became corrupt with evil. So that's it? It was at that moment that I finally understood Maou's plan. It was a scheme of profound magnitude. I was attacked by a wave of despair. It's all over. I found myself looking up at the sky. Why do I look up despite knowing that there's no God to find there? For whatever reason, I can't help but look to the heavens when I imagine what is about to happen. Haru, I'm so sorry. Guess I was the only one who thought we had finally severed these chains of revenge. I guess I was the only one who thought we had finally brought an end to this karma. Maybe if we had just had a little more time, we could have truly understood each other. If we had just had the opportunity to talk a little more. What are you doing, Kyosuke? Someone whispered into my ear. My head throbbed as if someone's fist had just knocked me senseless. There's only one beast who would ever do such thing to me. It could only be the man who died protecting me. Oh, I see what you mean. Guess I tried taking a page out of your book. We've known each other for a long time now, after all. Very well. The beast grinned. Looks like I just can't help being your son, huh? Not blood related, but still, you inherit him. I release the gun's safety and head to the park. Oh man. What are you waiting for, Usami? I lean against a tree trunk in the center of the park, awaiting her action. Her shoulders are heaving. Her eyes look no less than possessed. She's been transfigured into the very image of the Maou that I had hoped for. So, come on. The safety is off. She's holding the gun properly with both hands. All she has to do is pull the trigger. Even an amateur wouldn't miss at this range. There aren't many people around, but a bigger crowd will be sure to gather upon hearing the gunshot. The gun in Usami's hand shakes. It's clearly not out of hesitation though. She's overcome with exultation and relief over finally being liberated from this nightmare. If you shoot him now, you will get into prison, and then there's no happy ending. Her fingers moves to the trigger. Die! She shouts through disheveled hair. A figure suddenly appears behind Usami. Very good. After all, I tried to ensure that Kyosuke would not have the time to directly stay Usami's hand. Gunshots crack through the air. One shot lands its target within my stomach. A burning pain soon gnaws at the entire area. I see. So, this is how it turns out. That gun is easy to aim, even for an amateur. I wince from the impact of the shot. But even still, I can sense Usami's surprise at the fact that the gunshots came from behind her. She collapses straight to the ground, like she had been struck by a bolt of lightning. My vision starts to mist over. But I have no complaints with this conclusion. In fact, yeah, I knew Kyosuke shot him before she could shoot him, so that she can at least be free. Now, my plan has been realized. What was your plan? Maou. After shooting off all the bullets in the gun, I approached Maou. Haru was laying collapsed against the park's bared earth. I immediately took up her gun and stashed it away in my pocket. The event caused an uproar in the surrounding residential area. People screamed and shouted over what had just transpired. Among the commotion, I could hear someone calling the police. To my left, a middle-aged man stood pointing at me. And before me sat a man who watched over the entire spectacle with a satisfied grin.
京介、よくやった。
I can't see the grin, but I know where you're getting at. Kyosuke. Well done. I knew why Maou had come here to meet his end. There could only have been one reason. Dad, Samijima Toshikatsu, is dead, isn't he? Maou nodded slowly.
父は心臓の持病を持っていた。
Father,
知っているか？
Father suffered from heart disease. Did you know that? I shook my head.
だろうな。だからお前は救われんのだ。
I thought not. And that is why you had no hope of salvation. His steadily closing eyes flooded once again with tears. And you predicted it, didn't you? Or rather, you planned for the worst case scenario. Getting Dad out of prison was one thing, but allowing him to start a new life was another beast entirely. He was an old man, and you had your doubts as to whether or not he would survive the long boat trip.
不安は現実となった。そう、私が殺したようなものだ。
And my fears manifested into reality. In the end, I was like I killed our father with my very own hands. Did you get to see him?
いいや、遅かった。
No, I was too late. Maou continued, struggling beneath a sadness too heavy for his shoulders.
地獄でいくらでも父に詫びよう。だが、あれでよかったとも私は考える。不当な判決を下したこの国に殺されるよりも、せめて最後に希望を持たせてやれればと、私はテロを断行した。
He can speak still quite fluently, so I will do the same. I'll have every opportunity to apologize to him in hell. But regardless, I still believe things are better this way. Instead of having him die at the hands of this country in its unfair judgment, I wanted to bestow some hope upon him at death's door. Thus, I resorted to terrorism. And all the while you provoked Haru. He chuckled faintly.
はるか。
His sad attempts at mockery caused blood to dribble from his mouth. Despite it, he continued on.
京介よ。なぜ母のそばにいてやらなかった？
Kyosuke, why didn't you stay by mother's side?
私は言ったはずだ。母を頼んだと。
I left her to you. I told you to look after her. Well, because otherwise she would have beaten up very heavily.
なぜあの借金取りの養子になどなった？
Why did you become the son of that debt collector? I could not answer. It was to escape a life of extreme poverty and eventually come back to get her. It was to become even more rich and powerful than Azai Gonzo himself, and then make the many people who look down on our family rue their behavior. Whatever answer I might give, it would only be an excuse to Samijima Kyohai.
金か。金だろうな。金はいつでも戦いを招く。金は意志を持つ。戦争もそうだった。
Was it the money? Of course. It had to be the money. Money's always at the source of conflict. It has a will of its own. War was the same way. He paused for a fit of coughing.
だが、金の奴隷になるような弱い人間が、私は大嫌いでな。
Nevertheless, I hate those weak enough to become slaves to money. I know. That's why he had me pull the trigger.
天津さえお前は、憎き宇佐美の娘と恋をした。
And to make things worse, you fell in love with Usami's daughter. It was only natural he couldn't forgive me. It would take magnanimity on par with the Buddha himself to simply allow our happiness.
強くあれ、京介。お前は償うべきだ。分かっているようだがな。
Be strong, Kyosuke. You have to atone. Although it seems you've already figured that out. Yes, and that is why I chose to pull the trigger.
そこの少女は、お前と違って柔軟ではなかったようだ。せいぜい目を覚まさせてやるんだな。復讐に意味はないと。
But apparently, that girl over there isn't as flexible as you. You'll have to get her to open her eyes. Let her know that there's no meaning in revenge. He sneered at himself.
まさに、浅井金蔵の言う通りだったか。
I guess Adai Gonzo was right after all. The fool who had sought salvation through revenge smiled.
京介。私を撃ち殺したお前がどうなるか分かっているな。
Kyosuke, you know what's in store for you. For you now that you're a killer, don't you? I nodded. Oh, come on, please don't tell me the true ending is that he gets locked up because he killed a terrorist out of self-defense.
そうか。ならば、私を憎むがいい。
I see. Then go ahead and kill him. Oh, don't tell me you speak that slowly! I'm sorry. I know it's a sad moment, but I'm so concentrating, and I really despise this guy. I see. Then go ahead and curse me. Hatred is what... He was about to say something, then looked down, catching his mistake.
いや、愛も、また。
No, I guess love, too, can... His sentence trailed off into the ether, never to be finished. Snow continued to pile up on what was now nothing more than a silent, motionless lump of flesh. I cannot pity him, nor can I cry. Maou remained the Maou to the very end. He died after a flawless execution of his sly, wicked, perfect plan. Just then I remembered that my brother never did listen to classical music. Somehow that was the saddest thing of all. Don't tell me he actually has to go to prison. There was no time to dwell on sorrow. Haru, She showed no sign of regaining consciousness. Come on now, if you sleep out here, you'll catch a cold. I picked up Haru and headed back home. The people on the street continued gaping and pointing at me. I held my gun up to Haru to make it look like she was my hostage. The room was dark. I laid Haru down on my bed to rest and mulled over the situation alone. My eyes wandered to the violin case. It's a keepsake from Haru's mother. I wanted to hear it one more time, but I guess that dream will go unfulfilled. Unfulfilled dreams. Like her dream to be a violinist. I need to help make that dream come true. At this point, staying with her won't do her any good. In fact, my very presence would crush all chances of her success. Haru is already a known artist under the name of Mishima Haruna. She spoke of being retired and whatnot, but there's no doubt that in actuality, she wants to continue playing. If I stay by her side, the media will have a field day with her. I learned just how dreadful they can be back when I was a boy. That's why I hate standing out. I guess with what's about to happen, I won't be able to avoid it. I'm sorry, Haru. I was the one who wanted to get you playing again. But now, irony has come to bite me, as I won't even be able to be with you, let alone hear your music. After all, I am a murderer now. Oh no, now that's sad. Looks like the police sirens woke her up. Well, that's what that was. I went out to the terrace and used my cell phone. Hey, Miki-chan? Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it? I've got a little favor to ask. Yeah, but it'll be my last favor, so help me out here. Alright, well, you remember me talking about a girl named Tsubaki? Evening, Oribe. I'm truly sorry, but I won't be able to make father's funeral. If you want to know why, turn on the news. Anyway, I have a little favor to ask. After some time passed, I heard the sound of the terrace windows sliding open.
Kyosuke-kun.
Finally decided to get up? I tried to maintain a cold tone of voice.
何があったんです?
What happened? Does she not remember very well? That's fortunate. The police will be here shortly. I killed a man. Haru winced.
人って、魔王ですよね。
You mean Maou, right? That's right. Now the police will be taking me in.
そんな!
You can't be serious! She jumped onto me, screaming.
待ってください!
No. That's just too mean to end on that! But I mean... Oh, hold on! Now, wait just a minute! She clung to me desperately.
おかしいじゃないですか!
It doesn't make any sense! She made no attempt to hide her flowing tears.
だってあれは正当防衛じゃ...
I mean, come on! It wasn't self-defense, wasn't it? Well, she's right about that one, and that's what I said. Don't be ridiculous. I continued coldly. He was unarmed, and I could have called the police at any time. Despite that, I chose to chase down a fleeing wounded man and shot him multiple times. What part of that is self-defense? Furthermore, I'm in the possession of contraband, an illegal firearm. I could have gotten rid of it at any time, I'm completely painted as a murderer here. The fact that the victim was my own brother is just the icing on the cake.
でも魔王は極悪人で死刑になって当然なんですよ。
But Maou was a despicable criminal. He deserved the death penalty. That has nothing to do with this. She's probably screaming and crying about silly, obvious things because she feels that this is all her fault.
こんなことって。
No, but this is all just... Her breath was frantic.
ごめんなさい。私も罰を受けます。
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Let me be charged as well. I share your punishment. I steeled my nerves and spoke. What are you talking about, Yusami? Being called by her family name seems to have dragged her back to her senses. What crime are you allegedly guilty of?
私のせいで京介くんが引き金を引いたんです。
It's my fault that you pulled the trigger.
私を止めるにはもう間に合わないと思ったから京介くんが撃ったんです。
You fired that shot because you knew you wouldn't make it in time to stop me any other way.
気づくべきだったんです。罠だったんです。あんな人目のつくような公園に逃げ込んでさも力尽きたように木の幹に寄りかかるなんておかしいんです。
I should have realized it was a trap. For God's sake, he went to a public park and leaned up against a tree. It was right in my face, and I didn't see it. She's right. It was all part of Mao's perfect plan. He lured Haru out, purposely timing everything, such that I would not be able to intervene directly. Pulling the trigger was the only means I had to stop her. Maou had intended on making either me or Haru out to be a murderer. And there was no way I could allow Haru to commit such a sin. She has a future ahead of her. A bright future, filled with the lush melodies of her violin. I have no idea what you're talking about. You didn't do a thing.
私は銃を。あれ？
But I took a gun and... Wait, huh? The memory must be vague. Whoops. A gun? What are you talking about? You didn't have a gun. I need to persuade her.
そんなはずは。
It can't be. I didn't come across anyone on my way to the park. Most likely no witnesses saw Haru chasing Maou with a weapon.
でもそんなはずは。
But no, that can't be. You didn't do anything. Got it?
嫌だ。
No. Please, just listen to me. I sent her the gravest look I could muster.
やだ。
No, I don't wanna. She pouted like a spoiled child.
好きなんだよ。
I love you. I'm sorry.
大好きなんだよ。ずっと好きだったんだよ。
I love you. I've always loved you. I'm so sorry.
一緒にいたいんだよ。
I want to be with you.
やっとそばに。
Why? We were finally going to be together. Yeah, and then you thought it was a great idea to chase him with a gun and almost shoot him. Oh, sorry to be blunt here, but that's the only way I can cope.
幸せに二人っきりで暮らせると思ったのにそばにいられると思ったのに
I thought we were going to be happy together now. I thought you were going to be with me now. I could feel tears coming on. But there was no way I was going to let them out. I can't afford to just hold her close and cry. Getting caught up in my emotions here would only lead to hesitation. I see. You love me that much. Yeah, I do. Suddenly. Do you have a girlfriend or anything? You sure act like a grown-up hero. Dad always said girls were interested in that sort of thing, though. Just tell me already. Yes or no? Nope, I never even thought about it. I guess it can't be helped then. I'll marry you. If you remember, if we even see each other again, I have to move soon. It'll have to be a fateful reunion, I guess. Romantic, don't you think? You're moving? Yeah. Why?
バイオリンの勉強するの。
To study the violin more. I remembered her weeping face as she bid farewell like it was just yesterday. That's why... Wait, what? I pushed her away. She looked like an abandoned child as I turned my back on her. If you really love me that much, then you know what you have to do, don't you? You know what would make me the happiest, don't you? She knows. She's a smart one, after all. No, please. She calls after me in a hoarse voice. Please, don't leave me. I step forward. Our time together has been a repetition of meetings and farewells. The cruel march of time once robbed me of my memories. By the time we reunited, she was all grown up. And now we must part again. Kyosuke, please. Only this time, we will not be meeting again. Wait, do you really get the death sentence for that one?
もう少しせめてもう少しだけでも
Just give me a little. Just a little more time. Another reunion will simply not be possible. Why? You rid the world of a vicious criminal.
お願い
Oh, come on!
します
This is even worse! Please. And a very loud please. God, help.
彼を助けてください。何も悪くないんです。
Help him. He hasn't done anything wrong.
陽介君は
Kyosuke-kun hasn't done anything wrong. He hasn't done anything. She continued wailing. Snow fell upon her trembling shoulders, then melted away. The white sky above decorated her in a shining blanket as she prayed to God. She's a good girl. Perhaps God will actually listen to the prayers of a beautiful girl like her. Unfortunately, I'm not as innocent as she says. I've committed a number of sins, both light and heavy. I've come this far by living a life of deceit. I've cheated many people, Tsubaki Cannon most of all. I wasn't able to save my mother, my father, or my brother. Nevertheless, Maou has left a final trial for me, at the cost of his very own life. Very well then, Maou. I accept your challenge. A trial is actually something you can overcome. So if you already say that there will be no reunion, you already failed. This is really how this ends now? You got to be kidding me. So if you wanted a good happy end, you should have just left then and there? A number of police cars had already surrounded the entrance. I put my hands up to signify my surrender. In addition, I set my 2 firearms down in a spot where the police could see them. They booked me in the standard fashion. Then, on the night of February 14th, I was dragged away in handcuffs. Which is Valentine's Day. Wait. 3 days passed. Each one of those days I was interrogated without a moment's rest. Since I was suspected of murdering the criminal behind an incident of unprecedented terrorism, it was clear they didn't want to leave a single stone unturned in their investigation. I was taken back to my apartment so they could take photos. We also visited Maou's final seat under the tree and the supposed murder weapon. Absolutely nothing escaped the flash of the camera. Each night, I was taken to the lock-up cells at the back of the station in handcuffs, dragged by a rope tied around my waist. All of my belongings, including my cell phone and wallet, had been confiscated by the police. They took my fingerprints and then had me stripped naked to take my measurements. They took my belt and shoelaces, replacing my footwear with sandals emblazoned with the number 40. Once I was marched into my cell and got a glimpse of the meshed windows blocked by iron bars, the apprehension really started to set in. Immediately after I was arrested, they asked if I had a lawyer. I guess I could say I did, but now, without Gonzo backing me, I highly doubt he would be so kind as to come to my aid. I ended up using a court-appointed lawyer. He was a middle-aged man with entirely empty eyes. His subdued mannerism didn't assuage my concerns about his lack of motivation. After that, I met with a public prosecutor. After being told of my right to remain silent, my right to an attorney, and so on and so forth, I was then put back in my cell to continue my life of custody. The interrogation suddenly grew more severe. They started asking the same questions over and over, and kept pushing the same documents under my nose. The section chief of the 1st Investigation Division himself participated in the investigation. He was a middle-aged man that relentlessly smiled, but it was always accompanied by a sharp glint.
大体わかったよ。じゃあもう一回聞くがね。
I think I get the gist of it. So let me ask you one more time. I've already lost count of how many times that would make total.
浅井京介君。
Other killed. My name is not Azai.
失礼。
Fuck!
聞いていたね。では鮫島君に聞く。
No, no.
浅井京介君。
Start over.
君は
My name is not Azai. It's Samijima. I had my adoption officially annulled not too long ago. Ah, yes, that's right. Excuse me. Well then, Samijima-kun, you say that the one responsible for the terrorist event the other day, Maou, is your brother? Yes, without a doubt.
それについては我々も目下調べを進めている。だがそうすると、君は兄を殺したということになるね。
Alright. We are still in the process of investigating that matter ourselves. However, supposing that is true, that would mean you killed your own brother, correct? Yes, as I've already told you several times now. For whatever reason, the detective was tapping his finger on his desk.
殺人事件の経緯はこうだ。君が自宅に戻ると、兄が少女に暴行していた。少女の名前は宇佐美春だったね。
So, let me clarify the details of this case. You returned home, whereupon you saw your brother assaulting a girl. The girl's name is Yusami Haru, correct? Yes. The detective picked up on my slight agitation.
安心していい。少女は未成年だ。何かあっても世間に実名が公表されるようなことはない。
Oh, you don't have to worry. She's still a minor. Whatever happens, her name will not be published. Minor in what sense? Is the age of 18 still considered being a minor? I think even in Germany, up until the age of 21, you are still, I think you will still be held under trial as a minor, I think. Not 100% sure of that. But no, she's not a minor in the actual sense. It's 18 years, so it's legal in Germany. Absolutely, whatever will happen here. Her name will not be published. Maybe not, but regardless, they'll make a big fuss over her as Girl A. Please, go on. You need courage when dealing with grizzled police officer.
同棲していたのかい？
Were you two living together? Lies won't work here. Yes.
だろうね。あの日はバレンタインデー。手作りチョコレートの跡が床にこびりついていたよ。
Makes sense. It was Valentine's Day, and we discovered what seemed to be handmade chocolate scattered about the floor. Yes, that's right. Go on. What the hell? I have no idea what he's getting at. Or, I guess, maybe he's just trying to unnerve me or something?
少女の危険を察した君は、所持していた拳銃で躊躇なく兄を撃った。ちなみに、拳銃はどこで入手したんだい？
Realizing the danger she was in, you fired upon your brother without hesitation. By the way, where exactly did you get your gun? As I've stated before, I found it during the blockade incident.
そうだった。だが、君はそれをいつでも手放すことができた。なぜ警察に届け出るなりしなかったんだ？
Oh, yes, that's right. However, you could have gotten rid of it at any time. Why didn't you report it to the police? I wanted to sell it off to a Yakuza guy I know.
つい忘れていたのでもなく？
So, you didn't just forget? Correct. Like I said last time, I had committed quite a few crimes back on Central Boulevard, so I was afraid of getting involved with the police. I wasn't lying. The detective nodded profoundly.
君がセントラル街で行ったことが罪に当たるかどうかはまた後日別の者が取り調べを担当する。さて話を戻そう。
Whether or not you can be held responsible for what you did on Central Boulevard will be decided at a later time by a different investigator. For now, let's get back to the topic at hand. Very well.
君の兄は発砲にひるんだのかマンションから逃亡を図ったという。殺人鬼が逃走したのは現場の指紋、血痕、足跡などから我々も確証を得ている。
You stated that your brother fled the apartment, possibly scared off by the gunfire, judging from the bloodstains, fingerprints and footprints found at the scene. We have confirmed that as true. I see.
けれど君はそれを追いかけた。
But then you pursued it.
なぜかな？
Why did you do that? Everything was happening so fast, I don't really recall.
慌てていたと。
So you were in a state of panic? Yes.
慌てながら自宅から100メートル先の公園まで追いかけ、木の幹に寄りかかっていた兄に向け、無我夢中で銃を撃ちまくった。
So, in a panic, you chased him to a park about 100 yards from your home, then fired wildly upon your brother as he laid against a tree. Correct.
確かに気持ちは察する。君の兄は稀有な凶悪犯だ。殺さなければ殺されると思った君はとても冷静ではいられなかった。
I can certainly imagine your feelings.
検察官の対応も変わってくる。
I can certainly imagine you.
わかるかな？
Is he still talking? I can certainly imagine your feelings. Your brother was a vicious criminal of unprecedented extent. You couldn't keep your cool because in your mind it was either kill or be killed. If that's the case, I'm sure the prosecutor handling your trial will do so with a bit of understanding. You understand what I'm trying to say? Yes. He's trying to say that even though I murdered someone, if I was in a questionable mental state at the time, my crime would probably be treated lightly. I was starting to see a tiny light at the end of the tunnel. However, at the moment, the glint in the detective's eyes suddenly changed.
すると不審な点がある。
Something still doesn't add up. What?
君は2丁の拳銃を所持していた。
You were in possession of 2 guns. Yes, what about them?
1丁は殺人鬼が落としていったというね。
You said that one of them was dropped by that monster. Right.
確かに疑いはないようだ。遺体から検出した指紋と拳銃に付着していた指紋が一致している。
There doesn't appear to be any doubt about that. We matched fingerprints on the gun to fingerprints taken from his corpse. Then what's the problem?
わからないかな。君は拳銃を持ち替えているんだ。
Don't play stupid. You switched guns. I prayed that the surprise I felt didn't show on my face.
君は自室で撃った拳銃を手放し、わざわざ兄が落とした拳銃を拾って外に飛び出した。
At some point, you must have parted with the gun that fired the bullet lodged in your brother's shoulder and gone out of your way to take up the gun he dropped before dashing outside.
なぜかな。
Why would you...
君はほとんど錯乱していたんだろう。よくそんな余裕があったものだ。
Why would you do that? You were in a state of panic, were you not? I find it hard to believe that you had the mental faculty to do something like that. I don't know. I don't really remember.
君が自室で使用した拳銃にはすでに実弾が入っていなかった。君はそれを知っていて新しい銃に持ち替えたんじゃないのかな。
The gun you used inside your apartment was out of bullets. Knowing that, you switched to a different gun. Is that or is that not what happened? This is either a trap or he actually tries to help him right now. Oh, so the gun that Haru ran off with didn't have any bullets left in it. Oh no! If the gun didn't have any bullets, he wouldn't have needed to shoot him in the first place. God damn it! I wasn't sure how to answer this question. If I admit to that, it would be used as evidence to say that I was in clear state of mind. But the detective's next words were enough to freeze my blood.
事件の参考人として君の彼女に事情を聞いた。すると興味深い話が出てきた。
Oh no, they couldn't... Uh-oh, now it's getting complicated. We questioned your girlfriend as a witness to the event. Turns out she had some intriguing details to add to the case. Uh-oh.
殺人鬼を追って部屋を飛び出したのは自分だと少女は言っている。
She said that the one who chased after the monster was actually herself. I couldn't think of an excuse.
京介君は彼女の後を追って部屋を出てきたらしいが、どうなんだ？
And that you left the room chasing after her. What are your thoughts on this? That may be true. What about it exactly?
ここで一つ仮説を話そう。君は無謀にも殺人鬼を追いかける彼女を引き止めるべく後を追いかけた。
Allow me to give you a hypothesis of my own. Your girlfriend recklessly chased after a dangerous criminal. So intent on stopping her, you went after her.
公園にたどり着いた君は殺人鬼と彼女が対峙している姿を発見した。彼女の身の危険を察した君が背後から駆け寄り殺人鬼を撃ち殺した。
Upon arriving at the park, you encountered your brother and girlfriend in a face-off. Sensing that your girlfriend was in danger, you went up from behind her and shot the man to death. This was an invitation from the detective. An invitation for me to say yes here and then fall into his trap. Yep, I knew it. Could be a trap.
しかしだ、近所の住民の証言がある。公園から死ねという女性の絶叫が聞こえたという。
Moreover, one of the nearby residents testified to hearing a girl scream the word "die" in the park. This is the end of the line. I guess tricking the police was simply too daunting of a task.
君の彼女が叫んだのか本人に聞いてみたが覚えていないという答えが返ってきた。なかなか正直で理知的な子だね。まず嘘はついていないと思うのだが、状況から考えるに死ねと叫んだのは彼女以外にありえない。
We asked the girl herself whether she was the one who said it, but she said she didn't remember. She's a pretty honest, intellectual girl, isn't she? I doubt she's lying, but regardless, judging from the situation, there doesn't seem to be anyone else it could have been. My hands froze and my breathing grew shallow.
すると彼女には殺意があったと推測される。君の兄はその段階では武器を所持していなかった。さらに君は言ったな。兄は木の幹にもたれかかって観念した様子だったと。
In any case, from that testimony, we can conclude that she had intent to kill. Your brother was unarmed at that stage. Furthermore, as per your statements, he had seemingly already given himself up by resting against a tree.
つまり、彼女の身に危険は迫っていなかった。先ほどの仮説は否定される。彼女は兄を殺すつもりだった。そして、
That would mean she was in no danger, and the previous hypothesis crumbles. She intended to kill your brother. Furthermore, my heart was about to leap out of my ears.
おそらく彼女は拳銃を所持していた。
It is also very plausible that she had a gun. Could sense a slight dizzy spell coming on.
彼女は床に落ちた拳銃を拾ったかどうかはよく覚えていないというが。
Though she didn't deny it, your girlfriend said that she doesn't remember picking the gun up off the floor. My knees start to rattle.
実際には拳銃から彼女の指紋が検出された。
However, we have her fingerprints on the larger of the two weapons. Such a fucking idiot. And I thought he would have removed the fingerprints on the guns. Well, at least on one of them. I was thinking that he would be that smart. Why didn't I think of the fingerprints? Yeah, why didn't you? It makes no sense. This is super sloppy. I think even I would have thought about that, but maybe not when I would be in the same situation. I don't know. If this goes on, Hao is going to be charged with a crime.
が、指紋はあったものの、彼女が発砲した形跡はない。拳銃にはすでに弾がなかった。殺意があったにしてはやや間抜けと言わざるを得ない。彼女がそれだけ錯乱していたとも受け取れる。
It should be noted though that while we have her fingerprints on the gun, there's no evidence that she fired it. In all likelihood, the gun was already empty by the time she possessed it. Pretty stupid for someone with the intent to kill. Then again, you could also take that to show just how worked up she was at the time. Damn it, what should I do?
いずれにしても、拳銃を握りしめ、逃げる敵を追いかけ回し、とどめを刺そうとしたのなら、彼女を引っ張らなければならない。 ああ、逮捕するという意味だよ。
Whatever the case, if she had a weapon on hand, pursued a fleeing enemy, and then tried to finish them off, we are going to have to bring her in. No, excuse me, by bringing her in, I mean under arrest, not just for questioning. For what crime? After pausing to think for a second, he responded.
目立つ容疑は銃刀法違反。同棲していたのだから、君の部屋に拳銃があったと彼女も知っていただろう。いくらでも捨てる機会はあったはずだ。
Well, the most obvious would be a weapons violation. You two were living together, so she would have known about the gun as well. She should have had ample opportunity to get rid of it. Well, there is his ace. She didn't knew that he still had the gun. He lied to her about it. That's not true. Haru didn't know. Is this yet another result of my carelessness?
その他過剰防衛。いや、殺人未遂に当たるか。詳しく状況を調べてみなければはっきりしないがね。
In addition to that, the use of excessive force. No, I guess it would be attempted murder, actually. Actually, we won't know for sure until we bring her in and get more details. Attempted murder? Cold sweat went down my back.
さて、今の話を踏まえて、もう一度君の供述を聞きたい。
So, now I'd like to hear your testimony once more, in light of this new information. What should I do?
どうした？
Well, what can I do? Haru's going to be arrested. She didn't actually kill him, and she was in a complete state of panic at the time. In light of all that, I doubt she'll be charged with anything major. But she did use a gun. She has a future ahead of her. Who the hell would want to listen to an ex-con play the violin? I doubt anyone would bother to understand her trauma involving Maou. The media will have a field day. They only look at the surface of things and try to bring her down. Should have just thrown away that damn gun. No, I guess since Maou intentionally dropped his own gun, the result would have been the same either way.
どうしたんだ？急に黙り出して。
Why did you suddenly get all silent on me? Think. Bite my lip in an attempt to send blood to my hazy, panicking brain. I can't lose her. I can't lose here, I mean. This is my brother's final trap.
さあ、最初から自供したまえ。
Out with it. Cough it all up, starting from the beginning. The detective behind me stepped towards me, threateningly. The other detective across the table raised his hand to stop him.
君の自白は裁判でも大きな証拠になるんだよ。
Your confession will serve as important evidence at the trial. Confession? I remember reading in a book or something that in Japanese trials there's no stronger evidence than a confession from the criminal. Something about once you sign your confession, you'll be found guilty even if you were innocent. I have no idea if any of that is true. I have no idea, but I have to go for it. Fine, Mr. Hotshot Detective. I'll give you what you want. I burst into a chuckle. I guess that bitch turned out to be a useless piece of shit, though.
あの女、彼女のことか。
That bitch? You mean your girlfriend? His eyes grew more stern than before. Her prints are on the gun that I took home with me from Central Boulevard because I made her hold it.
握らせた。
You did what? He shook his head.
そんな話は彼女から聞いていないが。
How could you do such a thing without her knowledge? She didn't mention anything like that. Well, yeah, no shit. I did it while she was sleeping. I froze my heart over. Anyway, the stupid little bitch didn't even have the slightest clue that I had a gun. That much is fact. Nothing I've said thus far should conflict with any further evidence or testimony.
興味深い話が出たな。それで拳銃を握らせてどうするつもりだった？
Very interesting. So what exactly did you plan to accomplish by giving her your gun? And this music is so unsettling right now. I was gonna have her kill Maou, Samejima Kyohai. She was terrified of the guy day in, day out. I figured if she ever had the chance to kill him, she would have jumped at it.
君はなぜ京平を殺すつもりだった？
Oh. I see. And why did you want Kyohai dead? Use your head, will you? We have this thing called payback in the Yakuza business.
京平が君の元養父浅井権蔵を殺したからか？
Then, it was revenge for the murder of Asai Gonzo, your former foster father? That's right. I fucking worship that man. Gonzo was the bravest, strongest, greediest son of a bitch on this planet. He was truly the ideal villain. That's technically not a lie either. But getting put in the slammer for killing Maou? Fuck that. There's no profit in that shit. Noah would have preferred to kill him white when he came to the door. But
確かに京平が部屋に踏み込んできた時点では正当防衛で裁判を争えただろう。
true, if you had done so, he invaded your house. You could have argued for self-defense. So then I figured it would be a good chance to sick that bitch on him. But just as you concluded, my gun didn't have any more bullets in it. This is the biggest hurdle. I just need to pray there were no witnesses. As long as there's no one who saw Haru carry a gun on her. As far as I know, there wasn't anyone else on the road when Haru was running off to the park after Maou. And as soon as I got there, I took the gun from her. Please, please let no one have seen that sight. The bitch ran after Kyohai, just like I thought she would. Sure would have helped if she'd kicked him to death or something. Whatever. Anything. I don't give a shit. But instead she decided she'd just pass out on the spot. I guess she was scared shitless or something.
つまり少女はその時、いや、一度も自ら拳銃に触れてはいないと。
So, you're saying that she never voluntarily laid hands on the gun? Not once? He signaled something to a person standing behind me. He was probably sending him off to the scene to try to find some proof. Well, yeah, I guess that's what it comes down to. Shit, if I just had a couple of more bullets, I would have given her my gun.
しかし君にはもう一丁の拳銃があった。それをなぜ狂乱する少女に手渡さなかった？
But you had another gun at your disposal. Why didn't you give her that one? Fucking bitch ran off without listening to me. This is also true. By the time I caught up to her, she had already fainted. Fucking useless, I tell ya. Just then, the large detective behind me flared his eyes in anger. You little punk! He glared at me with a ferocity that could make the Yakuza jealous. Still, I remained unfazed.
少し待て。
No, wait just a second. A sharp glint shot from the detective's eyes.
なるほど。君は確かに浅井工業の影役として生意気なことをしていたようだね。泣かされた企業も多いと聞く。
I see. I'm aware that you've done some nasty things as a shadow executive of the Azai Corporation. I hear you've made many corporate executive cry. Yeah, what about it?
では聞くが、魔王が生きていたことをどうして知っていた？
No, wait then. Let me ask you this. How did you know that Maou was still alive? The gears in my head turned as I analyzed the intent behind the detective's question. Basically, if I didn't know that Maou was not the burning man on Central Boulevard, then I would have had no reason to make Haru hold my gun. After all, I did so with the intent of having her kill Maou. But I can't tell him that I heard it from Oribe. If I make it sound like I only found out moments earlier, he'll point out that I wouldn't have had the time to give Haru my gun before that point. You should be asking the dunces here and the fuzzy why they seem to think he was dead. I saw Maou escape from that burning bus. If they investigate, they will indeed find that we had approached dangerously close to the bus. But I lost sight of him in the chaos, so after that, I gave that bitch my gun in anticipation of my next chance at revenge. The expression on the detective's face gradually twisted further and further into indignation. Bitch this, bitch that. That woman loves you dearly, don't you know that? I could have sworn someone stabbed me straight through the heart. A sharp sting radiated through my entire body. She believed in you, you know? She slaved over boiling chocolate for you as she waited for you to come back. I forced my leery twitching lips into a smile. Oh, she had it that bad, huh? It's hilarious. Maybe I have what it takes to be a gigolo. My chest felt ready to burst. She may be clever, but she's an amateur when it comes to matters of the heart. It felt awful. Oh, that must really gnaw on him now. I hated myself for having to trample over her feelings. I continued spinning my hateful words as each one tore at my chest. Money is everything to me. You think I would want a broke, unprofitable chick like that? She was completely useless to me. Except maybe as a patsy for murder. You little... Chocolate, don't make me laugh. It hurt. I remember Haru's smile. Her innocent smile, merely excited to have an opportunity to give me a present. But I have to continue. A storm of emotions brewed in my heart. As long as we live and breathe, our way is paved with ice. A person's life is not compromised of 4 repeating seasons, but a year-long winter wilderness. Whether or not you stop to wipe your blood or tears, they will inevitably freeze over. What? When did I hear this before? A person's life is not comprised of 4 repeating seasons, but a year-long winter wilderness. You stop to wipe your blood or tears? Why would they inevitably freeze over? Motherfucking chocolate. I'd be damned if that's not the most retarded thing I've ever heard. Don't waste my time with that bullshit. Suddenly I felt something in front of me. The detective who was behind me had grabbed my coat. You little brat! Good, get angry. Lose your cool and cease your pursuit of the truth behind this case. Hey, watch it, man, that hurts. I tell on you to my lawyer. After jerking me around a bit, he throws me down to the ground. Gah! That's good. Jump at the obvious evil in front of you. This is no ordinary evil. The only issue left is Haru. She'll desperately plead for my innocence, but now the detectives will only see her as a poor innocent girl who had been tricked and manipulated. There's no turning back now. Police departments, forensic labs, and the sharp intuition of this veteran detective might be able to see through my lie. But no matter what happens, I will never revoke my testimony. Once the sentence is handed down, I won't file an appeal, no matter what that sentence may be. After this trial ends, this whole case will be all over. Haru's a smart one. I'm sure she'll understand. And then she'll play the violin again. Wow, he throws his own life away. He's only 20 years old and throws his own life away for her. That's some heavy resolve. And I think this is very much proving that something like this truly only happens in fiction. I mean, the whole situation like that is mostly fiction, unfortunately. But it's really... But if this would be based on a real story, man, that dude had balls. Not only that, but a passionate love. Honestly, I couldn't say if I would go that far. I couldn't really say if I would really go that far. As much as I'm convinced that I know what true love is. Maybe because I can't think that anymore for the sole reason that I am heartbroken, and because of that maybe I can't think of it anymore. But if I would have played the game when I still was in a relation, I think I would have thought differently, and this would be all logical for me. Broken hearts are shit. That's basically the sole reason why this stagnated so much. Why everything stagnated slowly but surely. Oh my. It's been about 10 days since I first surrendered to the police. I'm back in lockup again. I haven't heard anything about Haru being arrested. For some reason there were a few gifts for me. Among them were a few letters. They came from various senders. I was allowed to use the small amount of free time I had between interrogations for visitation. They do allow you to refuse, but there was something I wanted to check up on. I needed to see whether or not Miki-chan had managed to complete the job I gave him. Oh, Tsubaki? What are you doing here? I faced Tsubaki with a sly smile. They give you up to 20 minutes for visitation, apparently. I wanted to make this quick. Adai-kun, is this a joke, right? Being in Tsubaki's angelic presence made it hard to maintain my resolve. Oh, come on. You think I'd come to a place like this as a joke? But I just can't believe it. That shit again. All this talk about believing in people and crap. Thinking back, she was the first one who lit my cold heart afire. I'm a murderer. That's not true. You must have had some reason, right? Yeah, I did. The prick killed my foster father, so I avenged him. Pretty cool, huh? He gave a slight smile. Continued talking to prevent my smile from becoming awkward. Oh yeah, and back when your brother was kidnapped? Tsubaki frowned. Now that I'm in this place, I guess I can just spill the beans. I wanted you guys to hurry up and get the hell out of that house. It must come to as a shock to her. It didn't help you guys out, the goodness of my heart. I did it all for the money. Tsubaki shook for a moment, then spoke. We received a package not long ago. What do you think was inside? It was money. Dad said there was 50 million yen in all.
送ってくれたのは魔王だって。今までの罪を反省してるって添え状があったの。
It was sent by Maou. It came with a note saying that he was sorry for what he did. Is that so? That's good news.
お父さんもヒロアキもみんな喜んでた。
Yeah, Dad, Hiroaki, and everyone else were all ecstatic. I see. That sounds wonderful. I guess being a good person does pay off in the end. Suddenly, her expression clouded.
でも私は素直に喜べないんだよ。
Oh, come on! Don't let me face all of them now in a row. But I can't be happy about it like they are. What?
だってそれはそのお金はきっと。
Because I'm sure that money is... She gazed at me with eyes wet from tears. Oh, come on. Maou said it was because he's sorry. Since when did you doubt people?
私はあの事件で少しだけ変わったんだよ。
Well, I've changed a little ever since that incident. Oh, that's what Miki was supposed to do. Yeah, I know. She's become a little more human. Actually, I need that picture. Maybe.
いいんだよ、浅井くん。
It's okay, Adai-kun. What are you going on about?
私たちお友達だよね。
We are friends, aren't we? She forced her quivering lips to move.
だからね、殺人犯のお友達でも平気だから。
So, I don't care if you're a murderer or not. We can still be friends. Oh, come on! Don't be so nice!
今日もね、お家にどこかの雑誌の人が来たよ。学園での浅井くんの様子をされたよ。
Today, some magazine reporter came to our house and asked what you were like at school.
私ね、
So I told him,
浅井くんは冷たそうだけど本当はとってもいい人ですって。
Adai-kun may seem very cold, but deep down... Getting the air out of my throat. I think I swallow way too much air when I drink. But sorry. But deep down, he's a really good person. A tear rolled down her cheek. I think you expect me to cry here, but I don't know. I think I'm personally so heartbroken that even if I'm sad right now, it's hard to cry at this for me. So I really have to show you that I'm sad, but... God damn it! Oh god, I did it again! I again played with the perfume bottle. God.
だから平気なんだよ。
So, I don't mind. How stupid is this girl? Does she not understand how the rest of the world is going to view her if she sticks up for me? What's wrong with you? What? Don't tell me you have a thing for me or something. Well, it's just too bad. I can't stand women like you. Tsubaki fell silent, as if time had just come to a halt. Don't ever come here again! I don't want to have to see your face! I nodded to the guard to signal the end of the interview.
浅井くん、待って。
I couldn't wait. I'm sorry, Tsubaki.
待ってよ。
Wait, please wait. Goodbye. Get along with your family now. Well, so it was definitely him. They allow correspondence through letters while in lockup. Naturally, the letters are inspected, but as long as you are just sending paper and an envelope, there usually isn't a problem. There was someone that I really needed to talk to. Dear Iwae Yuya, how are you? As I'm sure you are well aware, I have committed murder and I'm currently awaiting prosecution. I would like to thank you for what you did back at the Sanou Corporation headquarters. If it wasn't for your act of bravery, I might very well be dead right now. However, there's something I wish to ask of you. Could you please look after Yusami Haru? You're an employee of the Sanou Corporation, and I hear your father's ability is such that people are even calling him the successor to the late director Sumaya. As I mentioned that day on the rooftop, Yusami Haru and I aren't actually dating. And I, at least, do not have any intention of ever doing so. Nevertheless, she is a poor girl with no one to turn to. Even a bastard like me isn't completely without sympathy. If she meets your fancy, go ahead and take good care of her. It may be a bit forward of a request, but please, keep it in mind. Samijima Kyosuke. Wow. There we go. I'm sure an upstanding man like Iwai will be able to make Haru happy. He has a strong financial base as well. It costs money to learn the violin after all. I handed the letter written with my earnest wishes to the guard. Oh man. Several days later, there was another request for a visit. Thinking back to Tsubaki's teary face was enough to crush any of my attempts to force a smile. Yep, now he's not smiling anymore. I really didn't want to see her, but I had to meet with her at least once to make sure she never comes back.
兄さん、大丈夫？
Oh no! This sister!
You doing okay, Nii-san?
Her voice was light-hearted, but her expression told a different tale. Oh, and what does a world-renowned athlete want with me?
構ってほしいから。
Your attention!
Her spoiled words reminded me of the world outside lockup.
ねえ兄さん、すごい人気者じゃない？
Well, Nii-san, you're the man of the hour, huh?
Man of the hour.
だって大魔王やっつけたんでしょ？なんでこんなとこにいるの？
Yeah, you met the big bad evil Maou, didn't you? So why are you in a place like this?
Beats me. Her confusion seems to be genuine.
今テレビじゃどこもかしこも兄さんのことやってる。
Every channel is talking about you.
Cool.
のんちゃんなんか目じゃないくらい人気者だよ。
You're so popular that Nanchan isn't even on the radar these days.
I see. Is that all you came to say? The gates holding back Cannon's tears suddenly burst. They really make me go through all of this, right? And this music, this incessant sad music in the background, stop already!
みんな兄さんの悪口言ってるんだよ。
Everyone's bad-mouthing you, Nii-san. She cried out in frustration.
兄さんがヤクザだとか、兄さんのお父さんのこととか、関係ないことまで持ち出して。
They keep talking about stuff that doesn't matter, like the Yakuza and your real dad. They're just telling the whole truth.
犯罪者の息子も犯罪者って。
They keep saying that the son of a criminal will always be a criminal. I guess they are right then.
兄さん目立つの大嫌いじゃない。
But don't you hate standing out? She sheds tears of pity for me. I want to thank her. But with the guard watching, I need to watch what I say. I must continue to live as the bastard who used Haru. Let me say just one thing, Canon. I'm not your brother anymore. It's time like these that I feel like it's a good thing that I annulled my adoption. So, I won't be seeing you anymore.
なんで？
Why not? Oh man! Because I don't want to see you. If she gets involved with me, Cannon's popularity as a figure skater will suffer. My adoption may be void, but still, we have been siblings up until now. Don't come back. If you do, I just refuse your visit.
やだよ。
Stop being so selfish! After I shouted, the guard behind me gave me a warning glare. Please, just don't come here anymore. I pleaded with her. You have a brighter life waiting for you. Come on, it's your job to get out there and give your audience something to gasp and cry about.
兄さん。
Oh, come on! This is even worse than Tsubaki! Now go on. You really shouldn't be coming to a place like this. I can't really hear her say anything, but she said, "Are you okay with that?" She muttered.
それで兄さんはいいの？
Are you really okay with that? I nodded. I nodded and Cannon cried. She shook and trembled, racked with sadness. I should have paid her more attention while I still had the chance. She was still unstable, unable to become a full adult. If I could have another shot at life, I would love to give her the support that she needs.
私頑張るよ。
I do my best. I signaled to the guard that the interview was over. Man, how can you do this? Well, I know why you do this, but every one of them loves you and everyone... He has a complete harem of girls who really like him and love him, and I'm just all alone. But I'm not as out in the world as I used to be anyhow. On the same day as Cannon's visit, I received a letter. I could tell who the sender was by the eye-catchingly bad handwriting. Hey Kyosuke-chan, baby. You really did it this time, did ya? Uribe? When you get to be as hard as me, you don't waste time with that interview shit. So yeah man, I chose not to go. I mean, I bet if you saw my face, you'd just start bawling like a baby anyway, wouldn't ya? But now that it comes to this, I guess you can aim for the top of the world of crime. While you're in the pen, I'll push my way through the legit scene. Well, I have that shit locked down on both sides, bro. Oh, it's Eiichi! Oh yeah, I finally made Noiko mine. Seriously. No man, seriously. I'm really being serious here, so come on, hurry up and get out of there, man. The letters at the end were more crooked than the rest. That's a pretty stupid joke, even for an idiot like him. Oh god! Look! Every picture he looks more miserable! This is really gnawing down on him! Between the daily questionings, the constant trips from lockup to the prosecution officers, and the numerous crime scene investigations, I was nearing the end of my rope. Being led outside in chains was really embarrassing. From what I could tell, they had yet to find any proof that could overturn my confession. My detention period should be over soon. I hear that things will get a little easier after that. Yet people still keep coming, like some damn head broken. I was surprised when I saw who had visited me this time. But as things would have it, she was actually the one who sent the most letters. I decided to meet with her a single time, clueless as to what it was about.
浅井君
Why did she, out of all people, send the most letters? That doesn't even make sense. Never thought I'd see you here, Shiratori.
しちゃいけないの
Got a problem with that? She scowled. Well, whatever. So how's Tokita doing?
今二人でアパートを借りて
We are
一緒に暮らしてるわ
renting an apartment together. Oh. Guess Tokita didn't get any major charges filed against her. Alright, so what are you doing here exactly? We weren't even friends. Oh, come on, that's so mean! Shiratori was hurt by that comment more than I thought she would be.
姉さんから電話
I have a message from Nissan. Okay.
一体いつあなたにお金を払えばいいの
She wants to know when she's supposed to give you your money. Money? Oh, right. I had said something about paying me back for the school and warehouse hostage crisis. Tell her to wait until I get out. She can meet me then, cash in hand. She nodded, sulking.
あと
Also, what?
クラシックの鑑賞会
Thank you for the concert. Huh?
付き合ってくれて
I mean, thank you for going to see it with me. Shiratori frowned, and then the wall shielding her heart crumbled. Oh no. Not again.
ありがとう助けてくれて
Thank you for saving us. Her tears could almost burn a hole through the acrylic plate between us.
あなたは怖い人たちから姉さんと私を助けてくれた
Thank you for saving me and Nesan from those scary people. Oh, the thing at the warehouse.
ありがとう
I always wanted to.
ずっと言いたかった
I always wanted to say thank you. The sight of Shiratori's weeping profile was enough to twist my heart.
今まで言えなくて
I'm sorry I couldn't say it until now.
私いつもそうでいつも思ったこと言えなくて
I'm always like that. I can never say what I really feel.
こんなことになるなんて
But I can't believe that it's come to this. She trailed off, gritting through her regret. Maybe I've really misunderstood this girl. We probably would have been able to get along better if I just tried to be sincere with her. But still, I had once thought of using her. And not just her. I had actually used Tsubaki and Canon also. It's too late to correct the mistakes of my past. Alright, I get what you want to say. See ya.
待って聞いて
Wait, listen to me. She mustered all her courage to her eyes, moistened from tears.
あのね私
Oh no, don't! Officer!
あなたのことが
No! You go! Just go! She said I love, and then this interview's over. I stood for my seat. So, he could have a harem. God, I hate those novels, the protagonists in those novels for that. I stood for my seat. I could hear her sorrowful screams behind me. But at the moment, I just did not have the presence of mind to listen to Shiratori Misuha's confession of love. I wonder why. This is a shitty ending. Exactly. On the one hand, this ending is super sad, and I really don't approve of it. But at the same time, I totally approve of it, because this is one of the first visual novels that don't have a happy ending. Up until now, I don't know how this can turn out for the better. How this cannot turn out good anymore. Exactly 3 weeks later, I was finally given a formal indictment hearing. The statement read off by the chief detective mainly touched upon murder and weapons violation charges. Dreary times followed after that. I was moved to an actual city jail as I awaited my trial. When the day finally arrived, I just watched over the proceedings with a detached mind. Perhaps because I had confessed with solid testimony, or because my lawyer was so mean there wasn't much of a fight in the courtroom. The letters also suddenly stopped coming. During the course of the trial, I thought I might get a glimpse of Haru, but in the end they never summoned her as a witness. I suppose that's a good thing, though. I would often read magazines or newspapers while I was in jail. I made sure to check the articles thoroughly. There was never any mention of Haru or an unidentified girl in any of the articles regarding my case. Before they took me in, I had asked Uribe to try to put pressure on the magazine editors to avoid such a thing. Okay, that was the other favor. One favor was the money, the other favor was this. Maybe I'm seeing the results of that. Though, I have to wonder why Uribe did what I asked, when I don't have any sort of money or power to speak of. Because you are the son of his former boss, and he was able to see the spirit of him resonating within you. I lost track of the season as I awaited my sentence in jail. Actually, I think the last 4 or 5 episodes I'm currently recording in one day. And you can all thank Kitten for that. She's actually on my Discord channel. So if you want to meet her, she is called Bloody Kitten or Blood Kitten. I'm not sure anymore because I'm bad with names. But her saying that this is almost over steered me on to pull through. And now, and after she said this, it is already 5 to 6 hours. I lost track of the seasons as I awaited my sentence in jail. Summer came, autumn came, and the winter came once more. We were woken up at 6:45, and it was lights out at 9. I lived a life of strict rules. I wasn't able to get a bath every day, but I did get regular haircuts. I ended up looking like a monk with a crew cut. I looked so stupid that I think I lost the right to ever make fun of Haru again. Over time, I naturally picked up on prison slang and made conversation with a number of my fellow inmates. The inmates that I spoke with ran the gamut. There were men from organized crime, syndicates, men charged with domestic violence, thieves, arsonists. I ended up completely avoiding the man who killed someone. Because of his drunk driving. Nearly a year passed after my arrest, yet I was still unsure of my ultimate fate. Upon arriving at the courtroom, I had been to so many times before, I saw that the judge wore a more severe expression than usual. My sentence will be handed down today. My thoughts are purely on Haru. And after today, these thoughts will never again grace my mind. Everything is over now, set in stone. I stumbled upon a certain article in an entertainment magazine. The artist known as Mishima Haruna has restarted activity. After only 1 year, wow. Now I have no more regrets. The court finds the defendant What's happening? Aww! Come on! There was the happy ending that totally was screwed over by the prologue. So long, prison? What? How did he get out of there? How? How? He's even still young. Look at this. He hasn't aged. Well, maybe he was a year in prison, but still. Asai Kyosuke looked up at the sky. Wait, I thought he is Samejima Kyosuke. A golden February sunset stretched out above him. It had been 8 years since he last enjoyed the scenery, and at the time sheets of dark grey clouds had blanketed the heavens. 8 years! 8 years! You don't look like you've aged much, son. Under those very clouds, he had bid his sweetheart an eternal farewell as snow silently drifted through the air. Wait! So he was 1 year in prison and he got 8 years for murder and for weapon violation, whatever. So basically, after those 8 years, he's now free to go? Well, then he still has at least 60 years ahead of him if he gets 19 years old. 60 to 50 years. It's actually, wow. I thought he would get a life sentence or something. It had been 8 years since their second parting. Suddenly, Kyosuke's widespread legs snapped together in an involuntarily attention. Having grown accustomed to prison life, they were now unsure if moving about without permission was acceptable. Kyosuke sighed and took a deep breath. His first breath in ages of air beyond the huge walls behind him. Fresh, clean air filled his lungs. The dry February atmosphere chilled his skin. But despite the chill, his past still warmed him, even now. He allowed his mind to drift to the old days. He recalled days at school, where he horsed around with his friends. He recalled days at home, where he engaged in audacious negotiations with adults. He recalled humble days without so much as a smile or laugh, all because he refused to stand out. Kyosuke was weak in those memories. He was a slave to money. He had been nothing but a boy busy quaking in fear of Asai Gonzo. Kyosuke looked to the sky once again. A few flakes of snow had begun to fall. The thought of snow gently falling onto her eyelashes painted in his memory a vision which pierced his heart with sadness, even now. Yes, that girl. She was the one who had visited light. She was the one who had visited light upon his cold, dark, wayward path. The stupid promise they made as children had served as his only source of warmth. When they first made love and became one, Kyosuke was filled with an unmistakable sense of happiness. He closed his eyes. He took a series of deep breaths to put his emotions in check. Kyosuke shook off his old memories. There would be no relying on such heavenly response. Repose, I mean. He opened his eyes. There was no one there. Even Kyosuke himself had wished for solitude. He decided he would walk the rest of the way on his own 2 legs. He had no destination in mind. He would wander like a lone wolf, keeping his immeasurable sadness hidden from the world, buried deep in his heart. Just as he was about to drag his empty body forward, he spotted a pair of silhouettes in the direction he was walking. This looks a little bit like a dog, and this probably is a girl. Just assuming here. I mean, Tokita is supposedly giving him, supposedly has to give him money in cash, so maybe it's her. One big and one small. A parent and a child,
She got pregnant?
Did Yusami get pregnant? Before he went into jail? I mean, after all the falls she had survived, and after all the things. So if it was the first 2-3 times they banged, sorry for they had sex, made love. However you want to call it. I don't know why I always say bang, because I got a cold-hearted bastard. But, well, she was very lucky not to lose the child. Or, in the time in between, they had sex again. So, it is very much possible. In any case, I knew it. No protection means she would probably get pregnant of him. And this is her. This is her. And this is his child. His son or daughter. And Yusami Haru, right there, with his son or daughter. A parent and a child, he supposed. They were heading down the road in his direction. A grim mood came over Kyosuke. Having been locked up in prison, it had been a long while since he heard the voices of women or children. The pair were holding hands, singing nursery rhymes. Occasionally, the tune would be broken up by joyful laughter. Kyosuke directed his hollow eyes to the ground. He merely wished they'd hurry and go. Nope. However, the voices of that mother-daughter pair did not grow more distant. In fact, they came closer. Then, for whatever reason, they came to a stop, right in front of Kyosuke. It's a daughter! He has a daughter! Oh, God! Ju! It's a daughter! Wow, he has the mother's eyes and the father's hair color. Oh, that's so adorable! And twin tails! I love twin tails! Nice to meet you. The voice belonged to a young girl. She looked up at Kyosuke with adorable wide eyes. You hear that? It's been a while. The mother spoke with a flat voice. Her hair, which reached all the way to her ankles, tousled in the wind. At first, Kyosuke was at a loss for words. During his long period of imprisonment, he saw many a dream where he met her again. Each and every one afflicted him. He scolded himself for his weakness. But he always thought that if he did meet her again after getting out of there was something he had to say. He had rehearsed the one simple word over and over in his heart. Congratulations. In prison, Kyosuke had kept a treasure that he allowed no man to touch. What do you mean with congratulations? It was a scrapbook. He pasted within its pages every article detailing the activities of Mishima Haruna that he could find. She had made a name for herself, internationally, so it was only natural that her fame had reached the prison as well. The girl had now bloomed into a beautiful woman. The girl who had now bloomed into a beautiful woman, she was beautiful before, addressed Kyosuke.
音楽がなくて寂しかったでしょ。
I bet it was sad not having any music. I had the Bach in my mind. Wait, you are not allowed to listen to classical music in prison? She laughed in response. It's obvious that this is she. This is his daughter. This is her. She waited 9 freaking years for his return. That, right there, this is true love. Ah! Oh, I thought this couldn't end good anymore. Kyosuke, however, did not. He could not laugh together as the sunny girl's equal. One of them was a convicted murderer, the other was a world-famous violinist. Snow continued to fall, as if to form a white wall between them. The scenery through the window of that rundown shack he once shared with his mother flashed through his mind. So, what do you want? She flinched at his harsh words. Nevertheless, he continued unaffected, intentionally choosing the iciest words possible. Didn't the police tell you anything? I was only...
もういいんです。
It's okay now, Haru interrupted.
もう
It's okay now, she repeated. Kyosuke scoffed. His white breath dissipated in the air above Haru's daughter's head. So, Iwai Yuya helped you, did he?
はい。
She said with a nod. Well, yes, she said with a nod.
そういう申し出はありました。
He offered to. Offered to? This is your daughter, man! Though a bit confused, Kyosuke slapped on a vulgar grin. I see. Well, isn't that just great? I bet you owe all your current fame to him.
感謝しています。この子も可愛がってくれています。
I am grateful, yes. He pays the little one a good amount of attention as well. So, how old is she now? I would say 8. Because 9 months of conception, he was 9 years in prison. The answer to his question came from down below.
7つだよお父さん。
I'm 7, Daddy. 7? Wait. That doesn't add up. That doesn't add up at all. If he was... Oh, did he mean 8 years in total? So 1 year plus 7 years for murder and violation of... What's it called? So 1 and... Then it makes sense. Then she is 7. Okay. So he gets only 7 years for murder and trying to frame someone and having guns unallowed? That's pretty... I don't know. That's pretty mild. But in this case, I'm okay with that. But the act he brought on himself, I would have thought he would have gotten a life sentence for that. Trying to frame someone for murder that individual, pretending to be a cunt, and then even having illegal weaponry. He almost repeated what she said aloud. Daddy? Yes! Kyosuke, you are a daddy now! Surprise! Time froze for Kyosuke. Wait, did it literally just froze? She's so adorable though. The entire world had disappeared, bearing only the child who had just called him daddy. His conviction deepened. She resembled him, yes. She has the same hair, and she has the eyes of her. She had his mouth, his jaw, his eyes. No, not your eyes. She has a mother's eyes, doesn't she? Or do you mean the form of the eyes? Don't lie to me, he said, his voice shaking.
間違いがないことは
I would
私が
know.
一番よく知っています。
I would know, wouldn't I? Her decisive response brought Kyosuke to a frenzy.
あなただけです。私にはあなたしかいないんです。
You're the only one for me. You always have been. And you always will be. Oh, this is great! Kyosuke cursed! Of course he would! He cursed the heavens. Why? Why would you curse the heavens? For being nice to you? He cursed God's whims. He cursed the devil's cruelty. He just couldn't stay calm unless he rebuked something. Anything responsible for the fate of deprived star-crossed children. It was only the miserable realization that no condemnation could alter the truth before him that brought him back to reality. And dropped him into the pit of despair. Why despair? A murderer's daughter spoke once again.
お父さん、頭撫でて。
What? Are you serious? Hey, Daddy, pet me. I never heard a child ever say that it wanted to be patted on the head. Most children hate that, at least where I live. So, this is basically a trope by now, but still, it's adorable. A murderer's grandchild sought Kyosuke's cold hand. A murderer's grandchild? An unknown force pulled at his arm. Her hair was soft. He touched the child's head. Actually did it. Oh, this is so cute. So cute. Ah. Suddenly, Alda Kyosuke was afflicted with strife. Wait, what? No, she's not. What? He can't turn this girl into the daughter of a murderer.
京介君、もういいんだよ。
Kyosuke-kun, it's okay now. Haru's voice was misted with tears. Kyosuke's side was misted with tears. Cut it out. You're wrong. She's not my...
もう泣いていいんだよ。
You can cry now. She's not my...
お疲れ様。
You could really use a break. She's... His subdued sobbing preventing any further words. The hand resting on the child's head froze in place, like it was stuck there.
また一からやり直そう。今度は3人だよ。
Kyosuke-kun,
京介君。
let's start over from the beginning. This time it'll be the three of us. Kyosuke's expression was torn by sadness. Oh god, that was such a bad whimper, for him at least. The madman cried. It was the howling of the beast within him who once tried to sever the chains of revenge.
お父さん、ずっと一緒だよ。お母さんもいるよ。
Oh, she's even a
私ピアノし
pianist!
てるんだ。ねえ、見て、聞いて。
Oh, she's even a pianist! She's talented just like her mother! We'll always be together, Daddy. Mommy, too. I play the piano. You can watch me. You should listen to me play. She smiled, inviting him to happiness. Oh god, my eyes hurt, man! I don't know why. Her bright voice lingered in his ears. The way she said the word daddy caused his heart to waver. Asai Kyosuke wept. After coming face to face with such a pure angel at the end of his life, fought with demons, there was nothing else he could do. And then when Haru told him the name of his daughter, powdery snow suddenly came to a halt. Almost as if we're harboring from an early spring. Oh! Oh, I know how she's called! I know it, but I forgot the name! But he is named after his deceived sister who died at a young age. I bet it is that name. I forgot the name because I'm a heartless bastard. But, no, because I have bad memory issues. But, that's the name. What? Come on. G-senjou no Maou. Finn. The epilogue took over 2 hours! After the credits already rolled! Wait, did the background change? The music sounds a little bit different. Okay, so this is now the final conclusive episode of G-senjou no Maou. I don't know if it was indecent to say that she was actually... Wait a second, I have to do something here. Okay, so they never say the name, but that's my guess. That's my guess what the name is, and I haven't looked it up. Maybe I should have done that between the cuts, but in any case, this is a great ending. I love this ending. I can't believe they actually had a happy ending, because if you murder someone here, you get a fucking life sentence, and a life sentence is 25 years and longer. Or in other countries you get just executed. But here it seems to be... Wow, I mean... Why wouldn't he be executed? I mean, his dad was executed from murder as well. So I wonder how he got out of it. But still, it's still a freaking good ending. And I like it. Oh man, the display of true love is really, really daunting. Well, not daunting, but it's really something. It's something else. It's really something else. Okay, so... I really hope you enjoyed this series. Remember, if you like it and you want to keep me going and keep me motivated, share my channel with one of your friends. And I'm not saying the share button, I really mean some of your actual friends, people you know, and stuff like that. Because that helps me personally the most. That helps me, an emotionally fragile dude who has no self-esteem. Even though I don't look always like that, but I'm very, very broken in this. And basically YouTube is something that helps me cope with this. And that I feel validated. And that's why I really hope that you will share me with your friends if you think that I'm worth the time. But this was great. This was great. It was would have been really sad if I wouldn't have finished this. And yeah, like I said, the most important thing, of course, is I hope you enjoyed it. And yeah, I will hopefully see you around when I do the next thing. I don't know when I will do a visual novel again, because I don't know. I think I take a break from actually doing visual novels, because they are sometimes really hard to do. Or I will try to pick visual novels that have gameplay in between. So, because it's really hard to concentrate on visual novels for a long period of time, and I'm really sorry that it took me so long to actually finish this, to those who anticipated eagerly the next episodes of this. So yeah, as I said, I hope you enjoy it. Hope you can help me out by sharing me with one of your friends, and I will hopefully see you around. Stay tuned.